What's up? I'm Jason Langley, guitarist and vocalist for Bacon Weave Shurikens, and this is called Jason's Pissed. Today's little episodic rant is going to be covering sellouts.
Fuck yeah, sellouts! Tear those bastards apart, Jason! Fucking kill them!
Hold on a second, I'm not done. This episode's going to be covering the concept of selling out.
What?
Once a band starts getting to a certain level, all of a sudden everyone fucking hates them and starts giving them the damning title of sellout. This can be seen with bands such as Parkway Drive, Five Finger Death Punch, Linkin Park, Green Day. The biggest, most frustrating thing about this is that with the logic that's being used here, you can literally call any band a sellout. Iron Maiden, Dio, System of a Down. A lot of people say a band sells out once they change their sound for money and a record deal, which to some extent I can understand. However, bands fucking change as it is. That's just a fucking part of music. For example, with Metallica, this is what we call an example. If they kept doing the same shit they were putting out back in the 80s instead of changing their thing over time, you know for a fucking fact people would start losing interest in them because eventually all of their sounds, all of their songs, and all of their riffs would sound similar, if not identical, to a certain point. But for bands like Green Day, I don't know if I would say that they necessarily sold out, because the one thing is that they still put out music. This means they were passionate about something. It's not their fault that you didn't like the content of their music. I can almost guarantee that Parkway Drive still loves making music. And that's the ultimate thing about music. If we look anywhere else, selling out isn't a thing. I heard Chef Gordon Ramsay opened up a restaurant.
Oh, fucking sellout! I remember when he was a dishwasher for my restaurant.
Oh wow, Oprah Winfrey's gone on for decades with her show and is making fucking bank.
Man, remember when she was an intern? Her work ethic was so much more authentic. Oh, Robert Downey Jr. was so much better before he went to prison.
Yes, I will acknowledge that there are bands that did only make music with the intention of making money.
Nickelback.
I can't deny that. But if you're a small band playing open mic nights, and a devil in a suit comes up to your band after a set list, keep in mind, YouTube was not a thing during this time. And he offers you a multi-$1,000 contract. It's like offering a high school quarterback a full ride scholarship to Boise. Or some, I don't know, football colleges. Of course you're going to fucking accept that shit. Imagine if the vocalist made the decision for the band and came to practice later on and was like,
yeah, this guy offered us quintuple digits of money for 2 12-track albums in the course of 3 years, but, you know, I just couldn't bring myself to do it because I'm not a sellout.
maybe it's just me, but I would be on top of that stupid motherfucker's strength. Now, as far as selling out goes, I can understand people criticizing bands such as Kiss, Metallica, or Nickelback.
Dude, pick that up.
Oh, fucking sellouts. But a band like Linkin Park?
Oh, they didn't have that same edgy early 2000s AMV music they have now. Pfft, fucking sellouts.
I will admit I wasn't a fan of the music that came out when they reached their Transformer era. Why did they give Optimus Prime lips? But their music was still decent. I didn't see them as much as selling out as I saw something that wasn't Linkin Park. It wasn't a first choice by any means, but I listened to them over a lot of other bands. Now, I will admit that the last song they put out, Heavy, that was kind of awkward and kind of a letdown. It has the same emotion as a standard Linkin Park song, it just didn't hit me as hard as their previous songs. Or for example, and I'm probably going to make a more in-depth look at this specific band, Suicide Silence. Yes, it wasn't classic Suicide Silence, and I can understand what fans were saying, and I understand that it was kind of like a sucker punch. But I saw it as a shift. And maybe the fact that a band keeps their name when they're changing their sound, maybe that's like the biggest thing. Because if Suicide Silence or Linkin Park changed their name to something different, then it wouldn't be as much of a culture shock. I don't fucking know. You might as well call any band that sells more than 100 copies of an album a sellout if you follow this mentality. Now, before this is done, I'm going to drop one last band name, and I'm pegging it at one of my all-time favorite bands, Korn. I can already hear it now.
What?
This will also probably have its own episode where I go more in depth, but for now, this'll be a pass for it. I absolutely love Korn, and when they put out their The Path of Totality, that metal step album, I'll admit I was a little taken aback by it, but it still had a few songs on there that I was tolerable of. But it was still, if any band was going to do it, it was going to be Korn. It wasn't a gradual fade into the metal step. It was kind of like a And I feel like I was in the minority with this because everyone that I talked to who were also fans of Korn absolutely hated it. And then they put out another album, The Paradigm Shift. And it was a callback to their older style. And this is when I decided to step away from them. I stuck with what I liked because that felt like a cash grab scheme to me. Calling a band a sellout is stupid to me. Now, if they're only in it for the money and they never seemed to really grind to get to where they are, those people I can understand being called sellouts and getting hit with the label. But the people who worked their asses off and blew up and made money because they loved the music that they were producing, those people aren't sellouts.